This is a difficult video to make. It's a topic that I've touched upon and needs to be spoke about again, because a very popular soap over here in the UK has just brought this topic to the forefront. And not that it needs it, but another voice being thrown out there to say that they've done the right thing and shown the right thing is certainly, well, it's not going to do any damage. The soap that I speak of is Coronation Street, owned by ITV, and it's a very... if you're watching the soap, it's a very unexpected story. But I'm not just one of them that watches the soaps. I'm a nosy bastard. And I watch the trailers, I read up the, what's coming up, all the reviews, everything like that. So I've known that this story was coming up, and even tonight's episode shocked me. And not for the reasons that you'd think. Let me give you a little bit of a background on this. So, the character that has committed suicide is called Aidan. Aidan, of course, is played by Shane Ward, winner of X Factor UK 2005, I think it was. And he's been in Coronation Street now for quite some time. Often as the bit of eye candy, because he is still kind of good looking. And his character has had this, roller coaster of a time. But to give you a little bit of background as to what I think it was that has caused Aidan to do this, is his marriage broke up, he was having an affair, his wife-to-be faked a pregnancy as sort of like a revenge plot against him, and obviously that all came to a head, they broke up, and he never really kind of recovered from that. And since then, there has been little clues that have kind of been there, but even as a viewer, most of you will have forgotten just them little things that have happened. So things like when he was giving his sister a kidney of his, was it a kidney? Yeah, I think it was a kidney, and he had this letter thing, and he put it underneath this pillow, and nothing was said about it. No one found it. You didn't see him dealing with it again. You just kind of thought, well, that's a little bit odd. And then later on, long story short, he gets bought the factory because his sister goes, well, you donated a kidney to me, I've got the money, I know that you can do this, and everything like that. And then he finds out that his ex-girlfriend, who was going to be the wife, was actually pregnant, and he doesn't react well to it. He really didn't react well to it. He said that she was faking it again, that it probably wasn't his, and all that sort of thing. But bringing it more to more recent times, he saw the baby, he met the baby, he thinks the baby's gorgeous, and he saw the reaction of the couple that have kind of adopted that baby. It was done sort of like a surrogacy kind of thing, because they wanted a kid and the mother didn't really know if she wanted it or not, so that was the deal. And he wasn't in on that. He didn't know that was the case, but he saw the reaction of the parents with this baby, and so he tracked down his girlfriend on the day that his dad and, I suppose, stepmother were celebrating because they're supposed to be moving away. And there was this incredible scene which kind of sets up what I'm going to talk to you about in a minute. So this was earlier on in the episode.
Aidan, please, why did you really come all this way?
I just wanted to ask if you'd dance with me.
What?
That's all. Just one dance.
I don't understand.
Well, we never got to, do our first dance. And if you never come back, and if you never see me again, I thought it might be a way that we could say our goodbye. I know, but what do you reckon?
Well, there's no music.
It's fine. It's here. It's still my favourite song.
Yeah, mine too. I'm sorry.
I could never be sorry. After what I did to you.
I don't care. I love you.
No.
I do, Aiden.
No. Look, this isn't
No,
what
I need to tell you something.
Dad? Yeah? Yeah, sorry. I just popped out. Hey, 2 secs, yeah? You want to know the real reason I came? It was just to say that whatever you decide to do with that baby, it will be the right thing. Because you're the best person I know. And you're better off without me.
Aiden, please don't go.
Bye, Eva. I love you too.
Even as a viewer of that scene, it doesn't really brace you for what's going to happen. And it doesn't. Because not long after is when this happens.
Give me a call and we'll talk. Bye.
Spanish She's half past. She's half past. So I'm going to the Do you look at I don't know everyone. Susan Vernelay. I'm not having anybody I don't know. She's
The final scene that you saw was him very upset, as you can see. And the soap has decided not to focus on the actual suicide, but sort of the build up to it and what comes after. And the soap are perfectly right to do that. As a person who, hands up, suffers fucking awfully with mental health, the soap have handled this perfectly. Because if you really, really watched, and I mean like more than anyone else watched, the signs were there. But if you're just a regular viewer, the signs weren't there. No one would have known. And that's true to life. That's how this is. I mean, okay, the statistic that has been used tonight on Twitter a hell of a lot since that episode went out, which was only like a couple of hours ago at the time of recording this, and it's something like 83 men a week commit suicide. 83 men a week. I mean, that's unbelievable. And the reason I kind of want to talk about this is because it is difficult to get help. And if you're watching this as one of the people who either is in the situation, or you found yourself in that situation, or you may find yourself in that situation, I'll tell you right now, the help is difficult to get. It is. We pride ourselves in the United Kingdom as having this national health service that can kind of deal with anything, really. But this, I don't know if it is just this government, but for whatever reason, help through the National Health Service for mental health problems is hard to get. You know, I know people that have been in touch with their doctors and said, I need help. And the doctors will refer you to another service, and that's it. They don't check up with you. Sometimes what they refer you to with that service isn't the right thing, so it doesn't work out. But your doctor doesn't then ring you to say, okay, that wasn't the right one, I'll try this for you. There isn't a proactive approach. So often people do go without help. In terms of charities, yeah, there's help out there. There's things like the Samaritans, Mind something or other. And yeah, they do help. One of the things I noted before is that the Samaritans, one of them that I read about, do an online chat instead of people phoning up. And I think that's a massive help. Because sometimes I don't really want to talk to a person. I can find it difficult to get my words out. But to be able to sit down and type, I think is a huge thing. And it's not just an email that you send in that will probably get replied to within a couple of days. This is a live chat. Someone is there who's patient, who's willing to talk to you. And I think that's brilliant. That really is. And for me, that would be a huge help. In terms of someone who's in that kind of situation, like you saw how upset he was when he went back to the flat. It's a difficult one to call. I mean, yeah, I'm vocal in saying I suffer with mental health problems, and I have been in that situation where you are in the pub, or you are in public, you are with friends, you're with family, you're with whoever it is, and you cannot take in the world around you. It's like a haze. It's like it's sort of blurred out almost. That these people say things, they do things, and you're just sort of like not with it at all. And not in any way is it discredit to people who are around you, but sometimes it isn't noticeable when a person is in that sort of state. I've done it myself. I can be the life and soul of a party, but on the inside, like I'm kind of like, well, emotionally, I'm gone. That's it. I'm sold out. And it's difficult being in that situation. Make no mistake about it. It's difficult. And usually you would either make your excuses or you would just sort of ride it out, but you would retreat eventually back to your safe place where you're alone. And this is where it's difficult, because sometimes when you're alone, you don't want to talk about anything. It's the last thing that you want to do. You don't want to reach out to people. And the thoughts sort of have a power over you, where it's like, you know, you would feel so worthless and so pathetic about your life up to that moment that you can't stop the thoughts. It's really difficult. It really is. And for you know, these 80 plus men a week, for however many women a week, sometimes that's it. These people just, in a way, they can't be saved. But there is stuff that you can do. And take it from someone who's been in that situation. There is stuff that you can do. It's not hopeless. So yeah, you have the charities that you can talk to. There is online, there are phone numbers. There is help. But one of the biggest things that you can learn is thought control. Like controlling what goes on up here, controlling what them voices say to you, and not even so much controlling what they say to you, but learning just to have your brain turn around to the voices and go, fuck off, I don't want you saying that shit to me. And there is a way to do that. What I got taught was a thing called mindfulness, and this is what worked for me. And the way it got taught to me was, this is going to sound really odd, but do stick with me on this. It was with a tangerine, or you could do it with like an orange or something like that. And the woman in the meeting, she brought it in and said, right, okay, take hold of it and feel it. Feel the outside of it. What does it feel like? So you have a little feel around, and she's going, is it bumpy? Is it smooth? Is it hard, soft? You know, how does it smell? And then the next bit was to peel the orange. And when you're peeling it, hold it up to your ear and just listen to what does it sound like when you're peeling it. Is it a pleasant noise? Do you not like it? Does it remind you of anything? Does it sound like Velcro? Stuff like that. And then once you've peeled that, you take a segment out, and depending on the orange or tangerine, whatever it is, obviously take off them little stringy white bits that no one actually knows what they are, and I don't think anyone really likes them. So you take all that off and you smell it. What does it smell like? Does the smell bring any memories to you? Does it smell sweet, sour? Is it hot? Is it cold? You know, is that bit, can you squeeze it a little bit? You know, is it hard? And then of course the final bit is taste it. So of course you stick this thing in your mouth and you're eating, and you sat there and you're thinking, what on earth have I just done? And then she tells you what you've just done, which is to cut off the outside world and focus just on this piece of fruit. You have looked at it, you've felt it, you have smelled it, you've listened to it, you've tasted it. You've engaged all of your senses in this orange or tangerine. And that basically, more and more these days, we try and get through life like it's a race, but it's not. On Earth, we are here for a good time, not a long time, in effect. So, instead of racing to get somewhere, slow down. You can even apply it to being in somewhere like a park, taking the dog out for a walk. What's the weather like? Is it warm, cold, sunny? You know, have you worn the right clothes? What colour are the trees? What time of year is it? What does it smell like outside? Has anyone been cutting the grass? Is it really cold? You know, is it snowing? Is it raining? And if it's raining, what does the rain smell like? Anything? Because sometimes it does. You know, on a hot summer's day when everyone's garden smell wet. I love that smell. But does it smell? And that sort of thing. And we can do that through life. But what you learn with that is a way to focus yourself. And that's potentially a lifesaver. If you have ever been in that situation where you're sat there and you're thinking, can't do this, can't do life anymore. Again, too easy to say, and very, very, very difficult to do in real life, but try the mind control. Because at that point, you've nothing to lose. What has stopped me in the past from going through with things like suicide or just wanting to be dead is the thought of how my death would impact my world, in effect. Like, I have my dog, and, you know, until I got discovered, he's going to be left alone. You know, he's not going to be able to put his own food out and fill his water bowl up. And then you think of family, friends, anything. And that's worked for me. But I know that I'm in a very fortunate position. I know that not everyone, even watching this video, I know that not everyone has friends and family and everything like that, but there are other things. No life is ever worthless. And when you have that thought in your mind, that can be like the first step into stopping you doing something serious. And that's what this comes down to. That's what this whole thing is about. You know, as Coronation Street moves on from this storyline, they're going to show the impact that Aidan's death has on his friends, his family, neighbours, the rest of the street. And yeah, that's going to be interesting to watch. But the point that you saw in that video before, seeing how upset he was in that flat, don't ever give up on yourself. Don't do it. Because there is always something to live for. There always is. You know, we do hit rock bottom. And it can be a fucking regular thing to reach rock bottom. Sometimes it just feels that you're left down there and you've been there for ages. But life is worth living. It's true. And if you need help, please speak up. If it takes this video to make you speak up, if it takes whatever, just try it. I amazed myself a couple of weeks ago. Well, say a couple of weeks, about a month or two ago. And I posted on my Facebook. And I said, you know, I'm having a really difficult time in my head at the minute. And, you know, I feel like I'm kind of shit. And I was amazed because the rest of the afternoon, the evening, the day after, I was swamped by messages of support, of opinions, of experiences that other people have gone through. Heartbreaking stuff that some people told me. And yeah, from some people you don't expect it from. You know, you look at some people and you think, really? Have they been in that situation? Like, really? And it's amazing. But okay, if you don't have social media with like a Facebook with friends or something like that on, try it on Twitter. Try a public platform. Try YouTube. Try anything. But speak out, because the help is there. You can have to sometimes be a little bit on the persistent side. But there are phone numbers open 24 hours a day. Try ringing it. Even if it sets your anxiety through the roof, try it. Because you never, ever know what will get said to you on the end of the phone. So, yeah, that's kind of it on this video. It's a hard topic to talk about in doing a video like this. It really is. And I suppose it's hard for a person who's on the phone or behind the other side of the screen talking to someone who's going through it. But it can, when you're in that situation, when you're in that mindset, it can seem like it's impossible to talk out. That people are just going to go, oh well, whatever. But attitudes are changing towards mental health. They really are. And it is for the better. Genuinely is for the better. But as Coronation Street has shown us, these signs can go unnoticed very easily, because no one really knows what to look for. No one knows really what mental health is. Sorry, Facebook. No one really knows what mental health is or how to deal with it, and I suppose that's why it's scary to some people. But try it. I will I'll have a look round, and I'll try and put some links in the description bit below. This video is going to be available worldwide, and some of the charities or the links or anything that I can find and that I post below may well be restricted to certain countries. So while you're on the internet watching this video, if you want more help with mental health, Google mental health and your country. Google your local area. You might be surprised at the results that you find. But help is there. Please speak out. And I'll see you next time.